as well. I thought Destiny, wonderful performance as ever. I can't really fault them at the minute. I'm very impressed with Tottenham and what I'm seeing. And they fight till the end, and that's what I've always wanted to see.
All smiles over here, not too happy. I saw you on the stream. You spent half of it facing that way. You know what I mean?
I couldn't believe what I was watching, Robbie. It was disgusting.
Talk to me about the game.
First of
all, let's just say, right, the red card for Curtis Jones, and we're doing a poll on it at the moment, was that a red card or was it not? At the moment, 55% of people are saying yes, it was, 45% saying no. Did you think that was a red card?
I thought it was a red card. I think the thing I didn't like, though, was the lack of context shown to the on-field referee. Went to the screen and they paused it at the moment of impact, where there's a lot more about the
what difference.
If you're going to ask me, let me finish, Robbie.
No, but what difference does it make if they got the decision right?
Shouts over people.
I didn't shout. I just asked the question.
If you play the whole clip, you can clearly see, and again, there's screenshots of like that, for example, where he's getting the ball and then obviously the studs and the momentum roll over, and it's a really high, dangerous tackle in the end. I'm cool with that being a red card. I really am.
So early in the game. Let me just ask you for going back, right? So if you're cool with it being a red card, because he was very unlucky, I felt as well. Yeah. You are right. It's like the momentum carries his foot over. He didn't deliberately mean to do it, but it is a red card, right?
Yeah.
But you've just started talking about processes and that. They got it right on that, didn't they?
Well, I've just said,
Yeah, so why do you need to talk about...
But there's a lot more other decisions that weren't right, wasn't there?
Oh, we'll talk about those then.
Okay, you going to let me...
No, I was just
baffled. Take the floor, or...
I was just baffled by that one, because you said it's the right decision, but then you're talking about you didn't like the process of how they got to it. They got to the right decision.
You can still be, in the end, pretty obvious that it was a red card, but I just didn't like the way that he goes over and they haven't shown him from start to finish, the full clip. It's just the end product, which again... swings and roundabouts. We've had them given against us. We've had them not given against us. That one for us, obviously, I thought 25 minutes in, we were well on top of Tottenham. I think it's obviously disrupted us massively. We've had to change what we were going to do. And again, that changes how Tottenham play, because they're looking at us going, right, they're going to be a lot more compact now. How do we break the lines? And obviously, going down to 9 men, we had to... I think our formation was 5-3 in the end, which I've never even seen. Listen, the first one... The first one where Udogie kind of runs past him, he clearly kicks himself and then does that to the referee. Udogie was also on a yellow card at the time. McAllister got a yellow card for the exact same thing the other week against Chelsea. So again, is there
never
consistency there?
First yellow,
no, I totally agree. It wasn't a yellow, but I would counteract that with...
The second one was 100% a yellow.
No, what I was going to counteract that with, in the first half, when you got the free kick, which inevitably led to your goal, Udogie got the ball. It wasn't a booking. It wasn't a foul.
Well, Gakpo's going to be injured for weeks because of that tackle on him, where his ankle goes right under Udogie and it slips away. But anyway, let's go back to the first key moment of the game, which is the goal. 63 centimetres onside that was. Now, again, this isn't me having a go at Tottenham. This is definitely aimed at the official. I actually don't blame Tottenham for any of what happened, because, as Matt Turner said, it's a dogfight out there. There's heat at the moment. You're going to get exchanges. But the referees, and I've said everything on the COP TV with Doyle, but the statement they put out, which is the 14th statement they've put out apologising, Robbie. And what I don't want people to now do is make this, look at Liverpool crying, because every VAR apology listed, there's Man United Arsenal, where Martinelli's goal was fine, Newcastle Palace, Chelsea West Ham, Palace Villa. Take it way back, the Sheffield United goal that went in at Villa, that would have actually kept them up in the Premier League, so the repercussions are massive. Palace Brighton Liverpool, we escaped, where we should have got a red card. Fabinho only got a yellow card. Villa United, Forest Brentford, these are all apologies recently. Obviously the Tottenham one, the Wolves one we saw last week, or a couple of weeks ago, Tottenham Brighton, where Højbjerg fouls Mitoma, Everton City, where Rodri handballs it. We could have potentially won the league from that decision. And Arsenal Brentford as well, where Ivan Toney's offside equaliser was allowed to stand. So it's got to the point now, Robbie, where not only is the game or the integrity of the game is being compromised when you hear of referees who were involved in this game on Sunday or in the UAE on Thursday, sanctified by Howard Webb. They've taken obviously a nice pay for that. But then obviously UAE own Man City, so is there a conflict of interest there? That's the question that I think a lot of Liverpool fans are asking as well. Well, Man City's owner Sheikh Mansour is the Vice President and Deputy Prime Minister of the UAE, who paid the refs to officiate in the UAE 48 hours before.
If a ref goes on holiday to America, then
but is the owner or vice president of the country? Is the owner the vice president of the country?
Come on, that's a little bit.
So again, you can ask for transparency. The audio played into the grounds. I know Gary Neville and the commentators, they get that audio fed into them in the gantry. That would obviously give a lot more transparency in terms of decision making. Semi-automated offsides. I think we saw how well they worked in the World Cup. That needs to be brought in. VAR specialists, these guys that are in the VAR room, clear communication breakdown. We're hearing that Darren England said, correct decision, it should be a goal. The referee puts his whistles to his mouth, then Tottenham take the throw, which if someone had a bit of common sense, they'd say, Simon, just wait, we're checking, it should be a goal, give the goal. Because I think the confusion was he thought that, so the lino gave it offside, even though it was 63 centimetres onside. And then that on-field decision is offside. Darren England has then gone, yep, correct decision. But he's thinking that the ref thought it was a goal. So it's just a mad communication breakdown, which just can't go on. But I think in general, I have to say I'm so proud of the players for holding on and putting a good shift in at the end. Like I said, it was a 5-3 formation. The amount of crosses that went into the box that we dealt with, the passes that would trickle onto Alisson, who had an incredible game as well, by the way. What a guy. It's actually his birthday today. He's 31 today. Ridiculous. So shout out to him. The way he saved that one from Maddison, and it was a left-footed shot from Maddison. He's so good on either foot. But it's a full stretch, and then Son a couple of minutes later.
And then as the game wears on, just today, do you feel? I mean, it's a last-minute goal by Tottenham that wins it.
Yeah,
it was actually by Liverpool that won it.
It was by Liverpool,
but by last-minute goal, own goal by Matip. Do you feel a bit? I mean, I've seen today like some suggestions saying that the game should be replayed.
That's not going to happen.
But do you think that would be justified to replay that game because it was such a horrendous mistake? Because Abby, you got lucky, didn't you? Let's be real.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
When I think about it, right, it's like what he described there, right? Why couldn't they just stop the game? Why couldn't when the referee when the VAR?
Because you can see he's about to do it.
When the VAR saying, no, it should be a goal. What are you doing? Stop. Why couldn't they just stop the game?
That's the question.
I don't understand why they couldn't have just stopped the game and gave the goal. And if that goal does go in and it's 1-0, that does make a difference, does it? You see in a lot of Premier League games, the team that scores first, I think there's statistics around it, is that they don't normally lose the game.
When we go ahead, our record is very good.
But they don't normally. I mean, I was at a game. You was at that game as well yesterday, right? The Arsenal-Liverpool game, the ladies WSL, where Arsenal absolutely dominated the game, but they conceded a goal and they ended up losing 1-0. So, do you think there should be shouts to replay that game?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because then we're going to start saying this about every game where VAR has fucked something up.
No, but this is a horrendous mistake.
But that's not the fault of Tottenham Hotspur.
It's not your fault, but it's
not Tottenham's fault.
It's affected
that
the game,
officiating isn't correct. It's then like saying, okay, well, let's go 4 years back to the Champions League final for a penalty that was never a penalty, and the rules were changed a week later. Should we replay that? Should Tottenham get a Champions League?
Definitely not.
No,
because you lost it fair and square.
How far do you want to go back?
You didn't lose that game 1-0, by the way.
No,
you lost it 2-0.
But that happened in the first 30 seconds of a Champions League final. It completely killed the game. So
but didn't you also just admit that the rules changed after? Therefore, at the time, it was a handball.
Because it was an incorrect rule.
You can go back 4 years.
It was an incorrect rule.
What Abby's failing to recognise is this is for the greater good of the game. It's not just anti-Liverpool.
If this was the other way round, and let's say
I'd be saying the same thing.
We were down to 9 men. Would you be saying, yeah, let's replay the game? Of course you wouldn't.
But I've just said it's not going to get replayed, and the 2 red cards put them to the side.
We're talking about the goal.
Should it be replayed?
It's not going to get replayed.
No, if it could, do you think, right? Whether you think it's going to happen or not, do you think that was such a significant thing that happened in the game that it should be replayed?
If it ended 1-1, would you want it replayed?
No.
Of course
because a game's a game. It is what it is. They've made a mistake.
But that's what we're saying. This isn't the game.
Yeah,
These mistakes can't be the game.
We've got 3 points at the end of the day. It is what it is. There are games where Arsenal probably shouldn't have had 3 points. Liverpool shouldn't have had 3 points. United. We could go on and go on and go on. Are we
just accepting this?
No,
now
I think moving forward something has to change.
What do you think should change?
I think that VAR has always been a problem. I think since it's come in, when we initially saw it come in for the Champions League years ago, I felt like it was along the right lines. And we sit here every single week talking about how bad VAR is, how bad the officials are. We've said it so many times every single season. I said it here about the Sheffield game. I'd never seen officiating like it. It was absolutely awful. And granted, this week was probably worse. It was worse. Do you deserve them points then? Yeah, I don't believe that VAR...
Hold on, but you just said it was...
You're contradicting yourself.
I'm not contradicting myself. It is particularly bad, but that's not the fault of the team. Tottenham don't make the decisions.
But you've benefited. You seriously benefited.
There are so many games where you've benefited, where City have benefited, where every team benefits.